So this school is quite different from what you just saw at Lilleskolen. They have one class for each year, one first grade, one second. So yeah.
This is definitely a bigger school.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes.
We have schools in Odense that actually have 3 classes, and some of them have 4 classes. So they are much bigger schools as well.
How is it like with school funding? Do public schools and private schools get the same amount of government support?
No. A public school gets a certain amount of money per pupil. A private school gets 76% of the amount that a pupil at a public school costs, and then they get the money from the parents that they pay. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you compare how much money you have at a private school and a public school, I think most private schools have more money than the public schools.
But it depends on the amount of students.
No, yeah, it depends on the how many classes you have. Yeah, it's not like one pupil costs like 10,000 Danish kroner or no.
Yeah.
It's per class. Yeah, that we get money.
So our first question would be, how many lessons do you have a day? Like the average amount for a person in our age range?
Oh, they have around 32, 33 lessons at 45 minutes per lesson. So it's about, 26, 27 hours?
A week?
A week, yeah. Usually they start at 8 o'clock in the morning, all of them, and they end at 1:45 or 2:45.
Yeah.
At your age, yeah. Of course, the smaller kids, they have less lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty similar to in Poland.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any school trips? Or if yes, where?
Yeah. At 5th grade and 8th grade,
Yeah.
we have school trips. But they stay in Denmark. We don't have money to send them abroad. So it's a school trip where they sleep for 2 nights when they are in 5th grade. They are away for 3 days and sleep for 2 nights. And when they are in 8th grade, they are away for 4 days and sleep 3 nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the places where they go is just chosen each year?
Yeah, the teachers choose it. Yeah.
So the next question is, how many breaks do you have during school and how long are they?
This is the first break from 9:30 till 10 o'clock. And then they have a break from 11:30. They have 15 minutes to eat. So from 11:30 to 11:45 they eat. And from 11:45 to 12:15 they have a break. So that's the second break. And the last break, if they are at school for the whole day, they have a break from 1:45 till 2 o'clock. So each day they have like 1 hour and a quarter break.
Okay.
Yes. So it's 2 30 minutes and then 1 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any specialized subjects for students?
As they told in 10th grade, we have our 10th graders who do a lot of physical education, a lot of sport, and we also have one class in 8th grade and one class in 9th grade who apply to come to our school because they're very good at their sports. And we have just finished this election now, so some of them have said, well, yes, you can start at our school next year, and some of them said, sorry, we don't have enough room for you, so we have to.
And the specialized subjects are only in
sport.
PE?
Yeah.
So you can't have specialized subjects where you do more of like physics in 1 year?
No, we don't have that. No.
Okay.
So how many students are in one class, about the average?
Approximately 20 to 23.
22, 23 in
Yeah.
in a normal public school.
Yeah.
Because I would
At our school.
Yes.
It also depends on which schools you're at.
Yes, because I would think private schools would have a little less students per class.
Yeah, I think what are you, about 20? In your class?
23, I think.
23 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
The maximum of primary school is 28.
28.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many students are in the entire school approximately?
540.
Okay. Do students have to walk from class to class, or does every class have their own class?
They have their own classroom, yeah, and then they walk to the special lessons.
Yeah, when they have a PE or something like
yes,
that.
yes,
Arts.
but they have their own classroom.
But for
Okay.
math, Danish, they would stay usually in their own class.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. How long do you have to stay in school? Like how many years?
Well, you start at the
Are
age of
obligatory.
10 years. So, yeah, you start at the age of 5. Well, the year that you turn 6, you start in kindergarten, 0 grade, and then you have to be there till 9th grade, and then you can choose. It's optional if you want the 10th grade.
And after 9th grade, you can already start working.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can go to another kind of school, well, gymnasium, or like I said, to be a carpenter or something like that.
And then after like gymnasium, you can also go to college, or is that an option you do after 9th grade?
No, after gymnasium. Yeah.
Okay. Is the Danish school system grouped into the different stages?
So that basically means do you have a primary school, then after that do you have high school and college and...
No, we say that the primary school in Denmark is from the age of 6 till the age of 15, 16, depending on when you're born. And after that, we have gymnasium. It's like high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty similar in Poland,
Yeah.
where we're also in like pretty much gymnasium right now, I would say. Like the Danish equivalent of
Yeah.
gymnasium. How many school breaks do the students have? Like holidays, vacation?
They have a summer holiday of 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah. And then they have in the week 42, they have a autumn break, you can call that. And during Christmas, around 10, 12, 14 days, depending on how Christmas Eve is. That it's on a Wednesday or Saturday. It depends on how many days they're off for school. And then they have the lessons. Not lessons. Week 7, winter holiday, and 3 days around Easter. And that's it.
And do you have specific days off when it's like that? Because in Poland we have a Polish Independence Day where no one goes to school.
Yes, the 5th of June.
So
It's what we call Grundlovsdag. It's the day that the Danish law was written back in 1849, and that day is a day off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you only have one of those days, or are there plenty through the year?
Just one.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we have some Christian holidays. Many years ago, we had a lot of days during the Christian calendar where the students didn't have to go to school, but there were too many days. So instead, they invented, we can call it, a day called Kristi Himmelfartsdag, where they have a day off and the day after that. So they have a few days, Christian holidays, you can call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But every student would not go to school at that time.
No
Christian or not?
student. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All students stay at home.
Not depending on the religion they
No.
And how much homework do the students get on
Daily basis. Not very much. We actually say that homework from day to day, we try not to do that.
Okay.
Because many of our students have a lot. They are in school quite many hours, and they have work to do or sport they do after school. So we try not to give them homework from day to day.
So you try to do all the things in school?
Yes, but
Not in
sometimes, especially for the older children, when they have to do read a book, for example, in Danish, they say, well, we have to read the chapter from 1 till 5 for the next 14 days. So you have 2 weeks to read those chapters, and then we're going to work with them.
And probably presentations and projects would also be...
Yes, that could also be homework, yeah.
Do the students in summer or spring get to have lessons outside in the fresh air?
Yes, it's optional for the teachers if they want to do
Yes.
that, yes. They use it a lot. If you were here in June or in August, you would probably see a lot of children outside, sitting in the sun, the shade from the trees, and doing the lessons out there.
So just they have the freedom of going outside whenever they want to. Well, if the teachers
Yes.
allow it.
Yes.
Okay. Do you do school projects? If yes, what kind of?
We do one specific project in 9th grade, and we practice that from the 6th grade, because the project they do in 9th grade is a kind of examination. So to prepare them to do a nice project and to know how we're going to do this, we practice that from the 6th grade. So 6th, 7th and 8th grade we practice, and the 9th grade they do a special project.
Okay.
It's like they have a title. It could be, maybe you can tell us about your projektopgave. What was the headline?
Yeah, it was it the good or bad?
Good or bad?
Yeah, something like that.
That's the headline, and then the pupils choose a subject which is defined good or bad. That could be
Yeah, we
good
have.
for environment and bad for environment, for example, or what else? Can you give me some examples?
Yeah, we had about war.
War, yeah.
War, yeah, and PTSD.
Yeah. And then the pupils do their own private subject. They can write together with another
Yeah,
2 or 3 pupils can write together.
yeah.
And then they have to do a presentation, and the teachers evaluate them and give them a grade.
Okay, that's nice.
Are the students allowed to use without asking?
Yes. And I don't know if you saw it, we have a water fountain outside.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, and they use that a lot as well.
Okay.
When I'm thirsty, I have to go some water. I think that's their way of taking a break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And can the students drink and eat during the class?
Sorry?
Can the students drink and eat
Yes,
during
during
class?
the evening, yes, they can.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the teachers say, well, not at the moment, we're working with computers right now, please put
Yeah.
away your food so we don't have food all over the computer.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to, yeah. But it also depends on the teacher and the lesson.
And probably the food.
Yeah.
I would guess you can eat very large chips.
No. Especially for our sports classes, the 8th, 9th and 10th graders, because they do a lot of sport.
Yeah.
Our 8th and 9th graders, when they finish here, they go to their sport. So they eat a lot during the day. Some of them start the day at 8 o'clock from here, and they are not home until 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. So they have a
Yeah.
big lunch bag with them.
Yes.
Okay.
That's understandable. What do you do during PE? Do you play team sports or do you do overall fitness?
Overall fitness, yeah. Like different kinds of sports. We also do team sports like soccer, handball, basketball, volleyball. They also do badminton, for example, but also dancing, gymnastics. So there's different kinds of things that we have to do in the PE lessons.
So, let's say during the entire year you have this specific amount of lessons you have to do in basketball, soccer, or is it just depending on whatever the teacher wants to do?
No, they have some things that they need to do to teach. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it typical for schools in Denmark to have a dress code?
No. Especially not at public schools. I don't think there's any public schools in Denmark that has a dress code.
Okay.
I haven't heard of anyone. Private schools, some of them, yes, but it's very few.
Yes.
Okay.
It is pretty typical for private schools, I would think, to have a dress code.
But it's very, very few in Denmark that has a dress code. You don't have a dress code
Yeah,
in
we
school,
don't.
for example, no?
No.
Do you have a school psychologist, and is he or she available at all times?
We do have a school psychologist, yes, we use her a lot for the children who have special needs. We evaluate with her what can we do to take care of the child that has special needs. But she's not available all day. She's here on Thursdays. We have meetings with her every Thursday, and sometimes she comes on other days as well. Maybe to do a test on the child or to have another meeting that we couldn't fit in on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And is music a school subject?
Yes, from first grade till sixth grade they have music lessons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't see a music classroom. It's very, very poor right now. We are building a new one.
Okay.
Should be finished in September.
Yes, because in Poland we don't have any music lessons at all. It's
Okay.
just grouped in with art and crafts. So,
So it depends on the teacher if you have music or not.
yes,
Yeah.
and I think that is not a very good way, since I feel like music is a very important thing to teach
Yeah.
youth. Are children allowed to have and use phones during school hours?
Sorry, one more time.
Are pupils allowed to use phones at school?
No, we actually have a rule about that. They can use them in the lessons if they are used for something, for example, math. If they don't use them as a calculator. No, math is a bad example. For example, if they want to take some pictures or do a video, they use their phones. But otherwise, they're not allowed to use them in the school time at all. So they give it to the teachers in the morning and then get it back in the afternoon.
And is that for every grade?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any interesting stuff?
Ja? Paolo.
Look at my computer to make a voice.
Elise, vil du ikke bare sætte den ind til mig?
Jo.
Tak skal du have. Yes?
Okay. Are there any interesting stuff at this school that wouldn't be typical in other Danish schools?
That would probably be the sports classes. That's typical. That's special for our school.
Yeah.
There are only 2 schools in Odense that has these 2 sports classes. So that's typical.
Okay.
Or special, not typical. Yeah.
So could you say that this school is a pretty sport-oriented school?
No, not for all pupils. No.
But for the specific classes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you have school sports teams?
Yes, for the sports classes and also for the classes, we participate in soccer tournaments, and we have been in volley as well. Years ago, a class went to China to play the World Olympics for schools,
Yeah.
and we have participated in the World Olympics in soccer as well for schools.
Is soccer like
Football.
yes,
Yeah.
but like the most national, like, is it the most common sport in Denmark?
I think so. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It definitely is.
So another question is, do the teachers tolerate profanity, these bad words, swears among the students?
No, but it still happens.
Yes.
We have pupils, of course, that use bad languages, that can be aggressive when something goes wrong for them. We also have fights among the pupils. I think that's quite common.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially in schools, I think that's a thing you can't really avoid.
No.
To ostatnio już było, co nie?
No tak.
Co mogę się jeszcze spytać? Is it obligatory in your school to use laptops instead of notebooks?
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, actually it is. From grade 3, we buy laptops to the pupils, and then they can have that till the end of grade 7. And then we ask the pupils to bring their own device
Yeah.
from the 8th grade. Some of them bring it earlier because most of the Danish pupils have a computer at home, and then they bring their own to the school. But otherwise, we buy a laptop for them.
Okay.
Because we use laptops a lot during the lessons.
Yes, that is a very big difference in Polish schools. We don't really.
You're right.
We write
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and in IT we go to the computer room.
Yeah.
And that's where we have our lessons.
We can say that's what it was in Denmark for 10, 15 years ago. We went to the computer room. Now we don't have a computer room. Everyone has a computer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw in 10th grade. They had the TV like this,
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
and the teacher can write
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
TV as well. Yeah, a smart board.
So yeah, that was all the questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed the tour.
We enjoyed it
Yeah.
very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
To take a picture of all of us.
Yes.
So we can just